Good morning, everybody. So today we're going to talk about an event that happened here in the United States that we're going to see if this affects fertilizer for the 2022 season. But on Monday, January 31st, the Winston Weaver fertilizer plant in North Carolina caught on fire. Now this just was a fire, it was not an explosion, which is good. Now there have been fertilizer plants that have exploded, and officials say that if this plant would have exploded, it would have been the biggest fertilizer plant explosion that they've seen in a very long time. Why they were so worried about this is there was nearly 600 tons of ammonium nitrate and almost 5,000 tons of finished fertilizer here. So for the first hour and a half or so, the firefighters fought the fire and the temperature kept going up. So they ended up backing up and evacuating a 1 mile radius around this plant. So it was about 6,500 people in total that they evacuated from their homes. But Wake Forest University is pretty close to there. So for the first 24 to 48 hours of this event going on, they didn't want anybody going to their classes, to their jobs. They wanted people to stay out of this area just in case it was to explode. But this is not the first time that we've seen this happen. In 2020, Beirut, Lebanon, they had a port storage facility blow up. That killed almost 100 people and injured almost 4,000. And that was somewhat to do with improper storage. And then in 2013 in West Texas, I believe Waco maybe, a fertilizer plant exploded and it killed 15 and injured about 200 people. And this one was ruled to be a criminal activity. I'm not sure what they have decided what caused this one yet. If you go on the major media sites, there's stories all over about it. I'm just going to tell you what I know, what I've been researching about it. This has happened about 2 weeks ago now, so I just wanted to make sure everything progressed and I got all the facts straight on what was going on before I told you guys. But the biggest thing, as me or you guys should be wondering, is how is this going to affect fertilizer? Is this going to drive prices up? There's already a low supply with a huge demand of fertilizer. How is this going to affect everybody? And with this case, it's still too early to tell on how it is exactly going to affect everything. But one thing is for sure is that fertilizer prices have went up, not necessarily from this instance, but in general, fertilizer prices have went up. If you guys pay attention to the ag side of things, fertilizer has went up for farmers, and it has went up tremendously, almost double, if not more than double. And so there's a couple reasons for that. One is the energy that it takes to make these fertilizers. So if our fertilizer comes from China, their main resource that they use is coal. And the United States, we also use coal, but we use a lot of natural gas. And so as you guys know, energy prices have went up. So that's going to make the fertilizer prices go up. Another big cause is transportation. Fuel costs have went up. Truck drivers, there's a lot going on with all that these days. So the prices with transport has went up. And then inflation. That's just another big thing that we're dealing with this pandemic is inflation. And so prices are going to go up from that. But in 2008, 2009, fertilizer prices were higher than what they have been now. And who knows if they're going to go even higher, but this is not the highest that fertilizer prices have ever been. So they may go high and then they may come back down. It's hard to tell. It's just like everything. But nitrogen and phosphorus are commodities. So the prices will fluctuate. They will go up and down. So on 1 pound of urea a year or so ago, on wholesale price was about 40 cents to the pound. Today we're looking at almost $1 a pound. So it is more than doubled in price. And that's just on the urea side. So, these companies, they were making good money before. They're probably going to want to try to keep making good money. So it's going to depend on how greedy these companies get also. You know, these are big companies. But the biggest thing that I can say is, you know, plan ahead for your year. And one of the biggest things is see your soil health. You know, if you need a soil test, I would do that and see just what products you need down on your lawn. You know, do you need nitrogen? Do you need phosphorus? You know, do you need potassium? Do you need these things, or can you back off a little bit? One of the big things that here, you know, within the last few years is we're seeing studies being done where you don't have to use as much nitrogen on your lawn to keep it green as long. So a lot of these guys are running low nitrogen programs and their lawn is looking fantastic. So maybe, you know, research into that and see how they're doing it. A lot of people are doing like spoon feeding things, so that way, you know, they give it low doses of fertilizer every few weeks, and that's mostly in a liquid fertilizer. But you know, plan ahead for this year because fertilizer prices, and I'm guessing everything really, chemicals, fertilizer prices, everything's probably going to go up. So just plan ahead and try to be smart with what you're putting down on the lawn. You always want to be smart with it, but maybe be extra with this year. But guys, if you like this content, go ahead and subscribe and like this video. Hopefully this spring we'll get out and we'll do some soil testing. We'll show you how to do that, some different things. So I'll catch you on the next time. See you guys.